Unit 10. Managing People. Track 43.
Which management styles have influenced or impressed you?
I have been impressed by many different managers, but I would like to mention three managers with a broadly similar style. I believe these three managers are pioneers in the effective management of people. Firstly, Lord Sieff, S-I-E-F-F, who for many years was chairman of Marks and Spencer, Britain's foremost retail store. Lord Sieff placed emphasis on quality control, profit and staff welfare. An enduring feature of Lord Sieff's belief was that the effective management of a business organisation, particularly in the retail sector, and good human relations at work are two aspects of the same thing.
Unit 10. Managing People. Track 44.
The two other managers I have selected both share a similar philosophy and managerial style. Second, Dame Anita Roddick, from 1976, founder of The Body Shop, which specialises in beauty and cosmetic features. Anita Roddick displayed a genuine, caring attitude towards staff, but is perhaps best known in Britain because she had a strong belief in environmental and social issues, feminist principles, and practical aid to third world countries. A very interesting aspect of Anita Roddick's management style was she firmly believed that it's not possible to provide environmental and social support without making profit. Secondly, she was quite honest in saying that she was in business to make profit, including some profits for herself, as well as the substantial sum she gave to third world countries. Third is Sir Richard Branson, founder since 1970 of the Virgin brand of over 360 companies. Sir Richard Branson is well known for combining a true entrepreneurial spirit with a genuine concern for people.
Unit 10. Managing People. Track 45.
What do those three managers have in common?
All three managers have or had a genuine belief in effective communication, involvement and availability for their staff. Visibility, so that staff can see them, approach them, and they were able to have immediate contact with them. Or either did or do engender a genuine commitment from members of their staff. All three had or have a genuine belief in creating a climate of mutual consideration, respect and trust with their staff.
Unit 10. Managing People. Track 46.
OK, Anna, would you like to begin?
Well, the level of absenteeism has gone up over the month. We need to monitor sickness levels more closely.
What do you think, Kurt?
Motivation is the biggest issue. Staff feel that no one listens to them.
I see the union representative is here. Would you like to add anything?
The unions want more days holiday per year. This will lead to lower sickness levels.
How about you, Barbara?
Well, our staff have more days holiday than any of our competitors. There is no excuse for the present level of absenteeism.
Unit 10. Managing People. Track 47.
What would you like to do this evening, Paul?
I don't know. I haven't planned anything.
Well, why don't you join me for dinner? I'm meeting a friend of mine tonight, Abdullah. He's got many business interests here. He could help you a lot while you're here. He's got a lot of contacts with carpet manufacturers.
It's very kind of you to invite me, Mohammed, but I think I'd prefer to stay in the hotel if you don't mind. I'm really tired at the moment. It was a long flight, and I feel a little jet-lagged. I need an early night.
Okay, Paul, I quite understand. Perhaps we could meet Abdullah at the weekend.
I'd be delighted to. I want to make as many business contacts as possible while I'm here.
Unit 10. Managing People. Track 48.
I don't know too much about Syria, Abdullah. What do people like doing here in their spare time?
Well, we like the same things as Western people. We like to meet our friends in cafes and chat about business, sports, that sort of thing. And we like watching football in the evening on television. Women enjoy talking to their friends and, of course, going shopping. Everyone likes that. What about you, Paul? What do you usually do after work? How do you spend your evenings?
I generally watch TV with my wife. We often eat out at a restaurant. We enjoy that. And at the weekend, we play squash or tennis at a local club. How about you, Mohammed? What's your favourite pastime?
I like to go out to restaurants and meet my friends in coffee houses. We often go to a hammam. I love that. It's so relaxing after you've been working all day. Would you like to visit one?
It sounds very interesting, but I don't think I have enough time. Thanks for the offer, though. Maybe on my next visit we could do that.
Unit 10. Managing People. Track 49.
So, what was your main purpose in coming to Damascus?
I'm looking for a company to supply carpets for my store. The carpets you make here are excellent quality, and they're very popular in the UK. So far, I haven't had much luck. Can you recommend anyone, Abdullah?
I could make some inquiries for you if you like.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Actually, I do know someone who might help you. It's a family business in the north of the city, run by Sharif Hamad. He specializes in traditional designs. I believe his prices are very reasonable. Hold on a minute. I've got his business card. Here you are.
Thanks very much. I'll give him a call tomorrow. Can I mention your name?
Please do. I've known him for years. Would you like me to give him a call first to introduce you?
Thanks. That would be very helpful. I'd really appreciate it.
Now, let me recommend something else. Tomorrow evening, you must visit our famous mosque. It was built a long time ago and everyone visits it when they're in Damascus. I'll take you there by car.
You're very kind. Thanks very much. I'd love to see it. Goodbye. All the best.
Unit 10. Managing People. Track 50.
Let me give you a bit of information about the two newest members of the team.
OK, I'll make a few notes.
Well, Adriana is the youngest member. She's been with us just over a year. She's an economics graduate with a good head for figures. So far, she's doing pretty well. She met her sales target last year. She's come up with some good ideas for improving our website, and she's added several clients to our database. She seems to know how to get new business for the company, so she's definitely got potential.
Good.
But she does have weaknesses. She lacks social skills. She doesn't get on very well with the other members of the team. And she's not comfortable when meeting clients for the first time. She never seems to be at ease with them. One other thing, her presentations to clients are not yet up to the standard we normally expect.
It sounds as if she's still got a lot to learn.
Yes. Also, she doesn't like our payment system at all. She thinks it's very unfair.
OK. What about Ahmed?
Well, he's been with us just over 2 years. We hired him to improve our contacts with Arab clients. He's made a good start. His sales record's fine, and at the moment, he's searching for properties for several wealthy clients.
Excellent.
Yes, but there are some problems with him. He doesn't spend much time in the office. He's always out socialising with clients, so we don't see much of him. Well, not as much as we'd like. He doesn't come to many meetings, and he's made no contribution really to building up our database. He's not really a team player at all, very independent. Some consultants say he's actually uncooperative.
That's not good for team spirit. How does he feel about the payment system?
He's very happy with it. He can't understand why some of the consultants complain about it.
Unit 11. Conflict. Track 51. 1.
Patience. Patient.
2.
Calmness. Calm.
3.
Weakness. Weak.
4.
Flexibility. Flexible.
5.
Emotion. Emotional.
6.
Consistency. Consistent.
7.
Sympathy. Sympathetic.
8.
Formality. Formal.
9.
Enthusiasm. Enthusiastic.
10.
Creativity. Creative.
Unit 11. Conflict. Track 52.
Can you tell us about your organisation?
Our organisation, the Centre for Effective Dispute Resolution, was founded 20 years ago. Its base is in London, and its main outputs are to teach business and make business more aware of more effective ways of dealing with conflict. And our two primary areas of business are first skills. So we've been involved in training up to 40,000 mediators around the world. And we're also involved in providing services. So we have mediators who mediate around the UK and around the world in business conflicts.
Unit 11. Conflict. Track 53.
What are the commonest causes of conflict at work?
We actually surveyed this last year, and the findings are interesting. The key problem is inappropriate communication or no communication. So I would say avoidance, so that managers are not dealing with their employees as effectively as they might. There's a lot of European legislation now around the areas of sex discrimination and unfair work practices, and this does lead to a lot of controversy in the workplace. I think other areas are clash of personalities, culture, different belief systems, and interestingly, I think a lot of employees feel that their workloads can be very oppressive.
Unit 11. Conflict. Track 54.
How do you help to resolve business disputes?
It's about trying to have an early dialogue and to recognise there is a problem. And then it's about having a good process. And that involves getting key decision makers to allow enough time. So typically we would say they need to allow at least half a day, but in a bigger business problem, at least a day. And it's having a good agenda, and it's making sure that the difficult issues are talked about in the right kind of format with a mediator, both privately and in a group as well, and then private debriefs of the different protagonists in the conflict, and then bringing together parts of those groups to actually improve the levels of communication and to work on really constructive problem solving and a real focus on finding the solution.
Unit 11. Conflict. Track 55.
If I reduced the price by 7%, would you give me a firm order?
I don't know. Only 7%? I was hoping for a little more. If we increased our order, would you give us a bigger discount?
Okay, how about this? If you increase your order to 1,000 units, we'll give you a 10% discount. That's fair, isn't it?
1,000 units. Okay, 1,000 units, 10% discount. Agreed.
Good.
What about spare parts? Can you supply them pretty quickly?
We can probably get them to you within a week. How about that?
That's fine. I think we've covered most things except terms of payment. If you give us 90 days credit, we'll sign the order today.
90 days? We might find that a little difficult.
Unit 11. Conflict. Track 56.
Okay, Rachel, so you want to talk about your salary. I see you're currently earning about $60,000.
Yes, that's why I'm here. I think I'm worth a lot more than that to the company. My work's greatly undervalued at the moment, so I'm here to ask for a raise.
Right. What figure do you have in mind?
$120,000. I know it's double my present salary, but I'm worth it. I've done really well in the last 2 years. I've exceeded my targets by almost 40%, and none of the sales staff has done better than that.
True, but a 100% increase? It's not going to happen.
Look, I know for a fact that Sophie Legrand got a raise recently, and her salary's over $100,000. She's doing the same work as me and not getting such good results. It's not fair, is it? I should be getting the same salary as her.
Look, Rachel, I'm not going to discuss the salaries of the other staff with you. Put yourself in our shoes. We're facing a difficult economic situation. You know that. We've all got to cut costs. There's no way the directors would approve such a huge increase in salary for you. Well, not at the moment, anyway.
I understand what you're saying, but the fact is, I'm being underpaid for the results I'm getting. I'm not happy about it. Not happy at all. Other sales staff are being treated much better than me. You know, there are other companies I could work for. Don't forget that.
I'm not sure I like the tone of what you're saying, Rachel. Threats won't get you anywhere.
I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. That's all.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. I can see your point of view. Look, we do value your work, I can assure you, but times are very difficult at the moment. There's no way the directors would agree to pay you over $100,000 right away. Let me suggest a compromise. How about if we give you an increase to, say, $80,000 now and promise to review your salary in 6 months' time?
$80,000 immediately, and then a review. I was hoping for a bit more. Okay, if you guarantee I'll get a review later on, I guess I'd be happy with that.
I promise you will do that. I'm chairman of the review committee, and I'll make sure your salary is discussed.
Okay. I suppose that's acceptable.
Right. I'm pleased to hear it. I think we've covered everything. I'll be writing to you to confirm the increase.
Unit 11. Conflict. Track 57.
Good morning, Joan. What can you tell us about Herman and Corrie Tees?
Well, they're well established, a very well-run company. They usually make a profit, but some analysts think they could be doing a lot better.
Uh-huh. What about their values, their principles?
OK, they're what we'd call a green company, very green. For example, they won't buy tea from suppliers if chemicals have been used to grow the tea. And, of course, they're against the use of any pesticides in the growing process.
Right.
Another thing, they were one of the first tea companies to get a certificate as a fair trade producer.
Impressive.
Yeah, they have very high standards indeed. They always invest part of their profits in the areas and communities which supply their tea. And they promote production methods that benefit local agriculture and the tea producers. You know, they even try to recycle the boxes used for packaging. So, you see, they really care about the environment.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. One other thing you could mention, Joan. The company's got very loyal staff, I believe. People say it's their biggest asset. They have a policy of keeping workers, even when economic conditions are really bad. They'd rather lose money than lay off workers.
Yes, they really look after their workers, that's true.
Do you think the management will recommend accepting UCC's offer?
I don't know, to be honest. But they'll be holding a meeting soon, and I suppose they'll make up their minds then. I understand the company's staff are strongly against the offer, so the meeting will be pretty lively.
OK, well, when we know, we'll invite you back to comment on the decision, Joan.
Unit 12. Products. Track 58. Speaker 1.
I'm 20 years old, and I've wanted a Ford Mustang since I was 10. I now have an eye-catching 1998 black Mustang Coupe with leather seats. This car is fast and furious and is everything I have always dreamed of. It has been virtually maintenance-free. I give my friends a ride in it with the top down, and they think it's awesome. Overall, it's comfortable, reliable, gives great performance, has great interior and exterior design, and is fun to drive.
Unit 12. Products. Track 59. Speaker 2.
The best thing I've ever bought is a trampoline for my son and daughter. They've had hours and hours of fun playing on it with their friends, and it's been really good for parties. It's weatherproof and durable. It really has lasted a long time, over 12 years. I've even used it myself. It's a great form of exercise. It wasn't cheap, but we were happy to pay for safety and wanted a high-quality trampoline. Ours has a strong, rigid frame and high-quality springs, so we get a really deep bounce. If you want to buy one, make sure it fits the space in your garden. And for safety, remember that all trampolines are designed for one jumper at a time.
Unit 12. Products. Track 60. Speaker 3.
Well, I work from home and used to spend a lot of time propping myself up in bed with a laptop. But I recently bought this fantastic chair that copies the shape of your body when it's stretched out. It's made from an aluminum and plastic frame and has lots of pillows that support every part of the body. The computer monitor is cleverly suspended in front of me to prevent neck strain. The keyboard and mouse are designed to be placed on the user's lap. I really can relax whilst using the internet, and I haven't had any neck problems since I started using it. Also, the curved frame provides support for my back. It's also eye-catching and quite popular with my design-conscious friends.
Unit 12. Products. Track 61. Speaker 4.
I'm an experienced backpacker and I've been to 4 continents, up mountains, through deserts and jungles, and slept in smart hotels and on train station benches. Obviously, everyone needs a good rucksack when travelling. But to answer your question, a large Arab scarf, that was the best thing I ever bought. It's a sarong, a scarf, a turban, a beach towel, a bath towel. Tie the corners together and you've got a bag. Hang it from a window for 15 minutes and it's dry. All backpackers should get one.
Unit 12. Products. Track 62.
What makes a product great?
The 3 or 4 things that I would look for in a product, what makes a great product, is that it's easy to use, that you don't need to think about what you need to do. You don't have to spend time reading a manual, that it's intuitive and simple and obvious of how you should use that. The other thing is, at its heart, a product should solve a problem or fulfill a need. So, for example, the electric cars that are coming out today, they solve an essential problem in the world, which is that we are running out of oil, and at the same time there is a problem with global warming caused by burning fossil fuels. So that's a great example, electric car, of something that solves a problem. And the third point is simply that it should be functional, that it should be helpful, that it should make your life easier and make things better in some way.
Unit 12. Products. Track 63.
It's the Tesla Roadster. It's the new electric vehicle which goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.4 seconds. I drove one in France from Nice to Cannes about a month ago, and I've never driven a car as exciting as this. Driving it is like a cross between driving a Scalextric car, a bumper car that you used to have at the old fun fairs and probably still do have at fun fairs, and a rocket ship. The response that you have from the accelerator is instant. So it's not like with a turbo lag, it's not driving a petrol driven car where there's some gap between when you push the pedal and it goes. It's absolutely instant. And as you release your foot from the accelerator, the car slows down in the same way a Scalextric car does when you pull on the trigger. So the Tesla is very exciting.
Unit 12. Products. Track 64.
What product do you expect to see in the near future?
There's a number of innovations that I think are happening at the moment that will give us new and exciting products. Possibly one of the most exciting is the driverless car. Not because I don't like driving, but sometimes driving can be very boring. Driving in cities is a pain as opposed to driving in the countryside. Driverless cars will be with us certainly by 2020. General Motors plan to have a driverless car on the road by 2018. Google has put money into this, Audi is putting money into this. We're in a position at the moment where cars are shifting from completely driver controlled to some control by the car itself, by the computer within the car. And what we'll see over the next years is the shift, so that just as with a 747 aeroplane, you can either drive it yourself or hand it over to the machine to drive.
Unit 12. Products. Track 65.
What's your favourite product and why?
My favourite product is my Mac computer. It's a black Mac, so it looks good. And the reason I like it is because I'm a journalist. It's the thing that I use to write my work on. I'm writing a novel. It's the thing I use to write my novel on. It connects me to email because obviously I have Wi-Fi at home. When I go to a cafe, I have Wi-Fi. I take it with me when I go on holiday and I go to places that have Wi-Fi. I can Skype video and talk to friends in New York. I can Skype video and talk to friends in Australia. I'm in constant contact with my parents through the machine, and it has the wealth of the internet, the information that is there, and all the people that can connect me to. So for me, my computer and its connection to the internet and its connection to people around the world makes it invaluable and makes my life more connected and more fun.
Unit 12. Products. Track 66.
I'm going to tell you about our new product, a fast ice cube maker for use in the kitchen. It was designed by Paolo Rossi and launched last month. We're promoting it at the moment on TV shopping channels and using a lot of point-of-sale advertising. We're distributing it to upmarket department stores and specialist kitchenware shops. Now, about the product. It comes in 3 colours: white, black and silver. It has several special features. As you can see, it's stylish, well-designed and elegant, as you would expect from a Paolo Rossi product. We think it will be extremely popular with people who like giving parties. It's made of stainless steel and is very sturdy. It's a bit larger and heavier than some other ice-making machines. It weighs approximately 12 kilos, but it's very strong and reliable. It was tested for months before we put it on the market, and it never broke down. You can check its dimensions in the handout I'll be giving you. What about its main selling points? Well, it's very economical in terms of power and exceptionally quiet when you're using it to make ice. Also, it's easy to use. You just put water in and press a button. Nothing could be simpler. What about its performance? Well, that's one of the ice maker's outstanding features. It produces faster and bigger quantities of ice than any other model. It can produce 15 ice cubes in 8 minutes, 2 kilos of ice in an hour, or 18 kilos in 24 hours. Incredible! Now a word or two about its benefits for the user. Firstly, it'll save party givers a lot of time making ice cubes. And because the machine's so versatile, it can make cubes of different sizes. It's fairly expensive compared with other models. The retail price is around €320, but it's great value for money because it comes with a full 5-year guarantee on parts and labour. We think the ice maker is a real winner. From now on, when people give parties, there won't be any embarrassing moments when they run out of ice and have to wait hours for a few more cubes. Those days are over. It simply won't happen if they have our ice maker in their kitchen. Thanks very much, everyone. Are there any questions?
Unit 12. Products. Track 67.
OK, Hugh, I think we're ready now to put everything in writing on the website. Shall I summarise what we've agreed?
Sure, go ahead.
OK, first point. We're looking for products that show originality and creativity. If they're really unique, so much the better.
Absolutely. Our awards are meant to encourage innovation. It's the most important point, so it's got to come first in the list of criteria.
OK. Next, I think this point is important too. We're looking for things that improve consumers' lifestyle, that give them a better quality of life or a wider choice of a product, maybe.
Yes, we want products that really benefit consumers in some way.
OK. And I think we also agreed the winning products will need to be environmentally friendly. Is that right?
Well, all we actually said was that they shouldn't be bad for the environment, not harmful to it in some way.
Right. We had 3 other points for the list. The winning companies will have to explain to us their plans for marketing their products, tell us how they'll advertise and promote them, and they get bonus points if they have creative plans, if their marketing is a bit different in some way. Now, let's see, what else?
We want the products to make plenty of money for the company. They've got to be profitable. So the question we'll be asking them is, will it make money or is it just a fad? Here today, gone tomorrow.
Exactly. And the last point, is the product advanced in terms of technology?
I think we can put that another way, Chica. The question is, has the company used technology in a new way, in an interesting or exciting way? That's what we're looking for.
Working Across Cultures 4, Track 68.
Today we're going to be talking about culture, what it is and how knowledge of it can help when doing business internationally. I've divided my talk into two parts. Firstly, I'd like to talk about the visible aspects of culture, the things we can see. And secondly, the invisible aspects, the parts we can't see. OK, so firstly, the visible aspects. Earlier I asked you to think about this. What did you come up with?
The weather.
Yes, you laugh, but it does have an effect on culture and behaviour. Anything else?
We came up with food, written language, the way people drive, and the style of buildings.
Yes, very good. The point is that these are easy to see and maybe different to what you are used to. In business terms, this will also include the way people greet each other and how close they stand when talking, what we call personal space. This may also extend to the use of gestures with the hands or face. In other words, body language. There may also be differences between the roles of men and women.
Working Across Cultures 4, Track 69.
Moving on, I'd now like to take a quick look at the other aspects of culture which we cannot see, the invisible parts. These are things such as beliefs and attitudes, which are important because they help us to understand how people in other cultures think and operate. This will depend on the whole structure of society, how important things like the individual, the family, the team or group is. Building relationships and developing trust over a period of time are much more important in certain cultures than getting instant results. Risk-taking may be seen in a different way, so it may take longer to make decisions. Attitudes to time are also important, not only in relation to things like deadlines, but how long or short-term the thinking is. Business deals could take a very long time. One further point is about the status of a person. Remember, status may be linked to age or connections, rather than simply talent or ability. Overall, it's clear to me that when people talk about cultural problems, they are usually in these areas. They're not language problems. They're to do with misunderstandings of behaviour caused by attitudes and values which are different and may be difficult to understand. To sum up, the most important thing when doing business with other cultures is to be more aware of your own culture. What is normal for you may seem strange to people from other cultures. As well as thinking about your own culture, the final tips I can give are to be sensitive, to try and notice things and be flexible in your approach. You can't hope to cover everything, but with a little bit of research, an open mind and an awareness of your own culture, you can go far. Thank you, and good luck.
Good.